Freedom Island. Well, anyway, so I didn't want to have no apps, but Evandro talked me down. Him and I worked and talked about the apps on my phone, and he just said if I wanted to, I could just show him each app that I wanted to put on, or if I thought I could use it, and then he could look it up on Google and help me to figure out if it's safe. And he knows different computer sites. He's kind of a little bit of a technology guy. So he can look on there and see what other people on these bulletin boards, well, they don't call them bulletin boards anymore, but whatever they call them, they talk about. These different people will talk about whether it's safe or not and verified and all that. So I got 3 things that I put on my phone. And this time while I'm off waiting for my lip to heal up and waiting for the snow to go away, or at least go somewhat away, at least let the temperature come up a little bit so it's better to sit in the van on the times when I'm doing surveillance, I got 3 things and I put them on my phone. So the first one is called Super Voice Recorder. And I already was using something similar to it that had a similar name to do these logs. And then I didn't like the one I was using because they kept interrupting me to ask me if I wanted to do all these other more fancy things, and I don't. And I was always afraid it was going to interrupt what I was doing. I was going to lose my files and stuff. So I got rid of that. So I've got this one. I'm using it right now. And it has just a microphone. And it has a circle, like when you used to push a button on a tape player. And the circle means play, and the square means stop. And that's the same here. And then over on the other side, there's like a triangle at the bottom. And when you record and then you push stop with the square, then you go over to the triangle. The triangle's where all your files is at. And then you can send them with your email to, not to Bluetooth. I guess it's by Bluetooth. Oh, don't even ask me about all this stuff. I can do it, but I can't talk about it. So you Bluetooth it, and then you've got it in your email. And then you can take it off of the device, off your phone or whatever, because now it's all safe in your email. And then you can do it that way. So that part's pretty good. Because as long as I can keep my phone charged up, I can just record when I'm hearing the walkie-talkies over by the work center. I can get all that Freedom Island dialogue, and it'll just continuous go. I don't even have to pay attention to it. I can just set it up to go. And it picks up pretty good. Like it's got a little microphone on the phone, I guess, the part you're talking into, right? And that must use that same thing. So I can just lay the phone. I have to use the smartphone because of the data. That's it. I can't use the flip phone for this because I don't have free data. I got to remember that. Okay, so I got to use the smartphone because I've got so much free data I can use on there. So I can just lay this up on the dashboard, and then I can just let it run, and then whatever comes over the radio in the van, it'll pick it up pretty good. I'm hoping not to run the engine too much, because when I run the engine, it does make it harder, because it's not super clear when the walkie-talkie comes up over the radio channel. I don't want to have to fight to listen on the recording, or like if I'm trying to show that to somebody, and they can't hear it because it's going, and then somebody's saying just a little bit, especially if somebody don't want to deal with this or they don't want to confront, they're going to look for reasons why my recording's not any good. So I'm not going to give them that chance. I'm going to try to not run the engine just any more than I absolutely have to. Evandro said, by the way, that one thing I could do is he's got a couple of these hot pad things that you can put on your shoulder or your back if it hurts, and you do it up in the microwave, and then he's got an insulated lunch cooler thing. And he said, why didn't I heat those up good in the microwave? put them in that lunch thing, that insulated thing, and then take it out, and then I could wrap it up and a towel and put it on me, or I could put them around my feet or whatever. So that was a good idea. So that'd be another way I wouldn't have to run the engine. Then the second thing I gotta have is I gotta have a way to make the recording shorter. Because of course I gotta trim out all the long periods of time where they don't say nothing. Because I can't start it right up when they start going. Because they just go, you know. You don't know that they're gonna go up on the walkie-talkie and start talking. And so it's just got to sit and record and record and record and record. And it just gets the cars going by, or car doors slamming, or people yelling at each other on the street, or whatever's going, vehicles coming and going out of the parking lot over at the social services and all that. It's going to have a lot of that, plus me breathing or, crinkling my snacks while I'm eating or whatever. And I got to trim all that out. So there is something that's called Audacity. Audacity. And it's free, and you can take your audio file that you attach to your email, and you have to download it first. You have to click, because it's on your email and you see it. But if you go searching in Audacity to import it, you won't get it unless you download it and put it onto your device first. Then it can find the MP3. So it can take these files into this Audacity, and then you can look at it, and it's like a line. It's like not like a Geiger counter. I don't know. You know what? It's like one of the things that does earthquakes. That's what it's like. And it goes scribble, 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 like in old movies when they're showing where the tectonic plates is shifting and the little pencils going up and down, or maybe medical things if somebody's having a health situation, and it jiggles up and down, and then, if it's straight across, they're dead. But if it's jiggling, then they're having some kind of, medical crisis. I know this from watching TV. That's what that Audacity looks like. So it's pretty easy that I can see where there ain't no talking, because the line's just little jiggle, and I can see a little crickle, or, where I opened up a snack cake, or I can see where somebody honked a horn and it's a little blare. But then you can see where it's talking, because it's a whole bunch of little, I don't know what you call little squiggles, little moves that's kind of along the center line. And then they do have, on that Audacity, they have a lot of things up in that menu where you can make it more louder, softer. You can get rid of a sound you don't like. You can cut out part. You can copy it. There's a bunch of things to do it. You make it echo. You can make it, I don't know, whatever. So I was thinking, while I'm kind of snowed in here and letting my lip heal, then maybe that's some of the stuff I would work on. Because maybe if I can't get a perfect recording, just right onto the machine, if I can use some of them tools and stuff and clean it up some. You know how you take a picture and you can go on Google or something, and you can take an old photo and you can make it look more brighter or cut it down and things like that. So it's like that, only it's like sound. So that's the other thing, the second thing. And then the third thing is called WeTransfer, and it's two words together. It's not like like that game. You know how there's a game that's W-I-I? It's not that. It's W-E, not W-I-I. And it's WeTransfer. And I don't even know who makes it, but it's free. And Evander said it was safe to put on. And I can use that to send these bigger files, because I don't want to have to just decide how to chop up these files and transfer them to my email. And I want to put them in Audacity so I can see what I'm dealing with. So this nice thing, which is this WeTransfer, is you can only do up to a certain amount. I don't remember if it's for a day or a week or something. Or maybe it's how many you've done and then you have to get rid of them or something like that. So if it gets to be too big of a file, then what you have to do is send that along, and then you have to like get rid of those, or you have to wait a little bit or something. I can't remember now. And then if you're going to use the free version, but then you can use it again. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to just keep the recording, scroll. Then I'm going to use that WeTransfer to send the great big files with the 4 million hours of recordings on there. And then I'm going to sit down with that Audacity and then chop them recordings up, smaller pieces, edit out all the things where nothing's happening, there ain't no squiggles. And then I'll have some files, and then I got to get a good system for putting like the date on it. Because I think when you're trying to convince people, I know from experience that if you want to convince somebody, you have got to have documentation. They have got documentation for days. They have got piles. They have got files. They have got records on their computer. They have got emails. They have, well, you know what I mean. Oh, they've got all this stuff and put it on the website and digital cards and SD cards, and they got so much. And that's what they always use to beat you over the head with if you get an argument with them. Well, I can turn around, I won't beat nobody in the head. Unlike them people over at the work center that's trying to get them paint handles. I'm not a one to get my way by smacking people in the head. I like to use like actual facts, actual reality, actual truth. There's an idea. And this way I can put dates if I get smart and figure out how to do it. So I can always tell which day I recorded it, what time of the day it was, and so on. And then which day of the month it was. Get some system there so that even if I jumble them or I send them in the wrong order or mistake one or copy it or something like that, I could go back and figure it out and keep it in good order. Because that way, I think it would really help if I could tell them I recorded this, at that work center on this day of the month of that year, at this time of the day. It just makes it seem more like orderly. And they like orderly. The kind of people that I need to convince, the kind of people I need to get on my side, they like things to be in good order. And I am not really orderly, but I can imitate a person that is orderly because I have spent so much time in, situations where I was sitting in a plastic chair waiting for my fate to be decided by somebody, and they showed me their orderly method, usually of kind of framing me up for something I didn't do and getting me in trouble and calling me a liar and denying what I said and pinning shit on me I didn't even do. And there is some disorderly thinking right there, and you can tell I have not been going to NA. I was going, and then I started doing the surveillance, and I got off the track with it. Evandro has been very, not naggy about it, but he has mentioned a couple times that there was NA that day. And it's marked on the calendar, so he knows I could see it if I wanted to go. And he hasn't been naggy, but he's right. Because how I was just carrying on right now, all my bitter troubles, how the world's against me, how they all gang up against me. I'm already trying to start a fight with people I haven't even met. I don't even know who I'm going to give these recordings to. I've already started a fight with them. I've already brought my bad attitude. I've already doomed myself, and I haven't even started it yet. And that's the old way I used to think. And I ain't never going to be all straightened out. I'm never going to not need help. But I know better than to let my mind go down that way. That is not good. So I don't think they have NA tonight, but I think they have it tomorrow. I think they have a lunch one, and I'm going to go for the lunch one. Wear my new boots. Maybe they'll have some canned potatoes. I could get lucky with cream corn.